Yeah. Just move. All right, we're gonna see. We got nobody in the waiting room. We're gonna get started. We're pumped to work with you guys. There's quite a few of us that'll be working with you. I'm Coach Colin, Coach Keith, Coach Ben, Dave, and Tom. We'll be working with some of you guys. Some of your coaches may have already actually reached out to you. I know I sent that out. They sent out some emails earlier. Some of you guys actually may even be working with me. I just haven't sent out the messages. So with this program, we want you guys to use us as resources. If you got questions about the programming, we wrote 3 different layers of programming, but obviously you guys might have access to things at home that could be more useful, and that just reach out to your coach and let them know what you might have, and then we'll build some programming or make some modifications. I've already gotten a bunch of questions, so if you've got a small question, big question, use the app. There's the messaging function on that is really good, or you can shoot us a text. I'm going to share my phone screen. So there's 2 of me here. Let's check video. So now I'm going to go over the app with you guys. Let's start broadcast here. Good. You guys should all see my app. The app we use is Trainerize, and most of you guys should have a link. If you guys don't have a link, just remind me at the end if you can't find it. I've been sending them out. Sometimes it ends up in your spam folder. Let me just pull up one of you guys. We're going to use Anthony Cinchetti. I've used him every single time, so I've been having fun because he's going to get all these messages. So this is your main dashboard. Okay, we haven't prescribed anything or put extra workouts in there that we want you guys doing. We can do that in the calendar function if you need that accountability. But a bunch of the questionnaires that came back were about gaining weight. So you may see scheduled things in here like weigh-ins. Okay, we want you to check in on your weight. This Anthony has nothing, and we could check tomorrow. He's got nothing going on. So things to do. Now, some of you guys, we may work on some other habits as well, and there'll be a little checklist of things to do. As you scroll down, you don't need to use much of this. If you guys use MyFitnessPal or have an Apple Watch, you can actually sync all of this to your phone, and it's just data that we get. The one is body weight. If your goal is to gain weight, we've got to track it, and we got to hold you accountable to gaining that weight. If you have access to something that can do body fat percentages, I know some of you guys have scales at home that are do some bioimpedance, which sends a little electric current and gives you a rough estimate. All good information to have. Don't worry about doing photos. If you do track your food, this will, if it's MyFitnessPal and Fitbit, will actually push notification to us, and we can see that. And then there's the last piece of this would be the lean mass. At the bottom, it'll show you achievements for the day, your first workout, whether you hit a PR. So this is kind of the starting point. The part where your programs are is you'll see at the bottom, you'll see programs, calendar, main PM, and profile. So you can access your programs from 2 spots. You got your goals and habits section up here at the top. This is if we decide to put some habits, you guys will check those off. So you can set those up yourself, or your coach might set them up based on your goals. You got a goals of gaining 10 pounds. We're going to put that goal there. So every time you open up this app, it reminds you, okay, this is the goal. This is what I'm focused on. And what have I done today to get closer to that goal? Your training program, we do these in phases. This is phase 1. There's 4 phases. Sorry, we're going to probably get through 3 phases with you guys, ending in the middle of December. This has got the background of what we're doing and how to execute the programming. As you can see, you're gonna pick you're gonna do the warm up and then pick a linear speed or a lateral speed workout, and then you'll do a workout. It'll make some sense as I scroll down here. Ideally, we get at least 2 full training sessions in a week. If you guys aren't doing a whole lot, you guys should aim for 3 to 4, and you're just gonna alternate each workout back and forth. So I'll show you in the bottom what I mean by that. If you guys run in the time, get in something. If you just get in a body weight workout in, awesome. All right, our goal is consistency. That's how we're gonna get some performance out of this and get some results. Is you've got to show up and do it. And we know your schedules can be a little bit different with things, different sports seasons overlapping. So you got to find time in your schedule and knock it out. So these are the workouts. Okay. We're going to shorten this up in phase 2 and make it a little bit easier to use. But you're going to start all of your lifts. So your training days, you'll start up with a dynamic warm up and movement prep. When you click on the workout, it gives you the at-home program. If you is basically what is up at the top where you see instructions. Now, every single workout, when you go through it, there's going to be an instructions tab right here as you see up at the top. From there, it's got any information you might need about how to execute the program. This just has a copy of the dynamic warm-up. And then there's a video of me doing the dynamic warm-up. So these all work. I'd say about 60% of the videos are us.
Hey, Ronda Club athletes, I'm bringing you warm-up for your at-home program, okay? This warm-up can be done inside or you can do it outside. You're gonna need like 10.
So with our workouts, you'll see it hasn't been recorded. If you guys put any data in this, and I'll show you this in a little bit, it'll show up here. And then the really cool part about this is it'll show you what you did last week. So the biggest mistake we see athletes make is you guys don't track what you guys did last week. And we've had athletes spend 8 weeks with us and never progress in weight because they never know what they did the previous week and they never bother to write it down. So it's really important that you guys write down what you did so you know if you can improve. Same thing you do with your batting percentage, right? You want to know what you did so you know if you're meeting it or exceeding it or dropping behind your performance goals. So if we want to start this workout, and I'm going to pull out a lift just so you guys can, because these warm-ups, these like warm-up linear speed, that's straight ahead. The second one's supposed to say warm-up lateral speed. I don't know why, a little typo there. I'll fix that. So you pick, you always do the dynamic warm-up, then you pick a 2A, you pick a 3A, and then you do your, depending on what you guys have equipment access for, we got day 1 body weight, day 1 dumbbell, and then day 1 full gym. We are in phase 1, which is basically an introductory frame. We just want to get you guys in, moving. You don't have to smoke yourself, but we just need to get you moving and getting started training with us, getting familiar with the app. I'm going to pull up, let's do dumbbell day 2. So when you click on it, right, gives you an overview. So we're going to do 5 sets of this top exercise, and then 5 sets of this middle group, and then 5 sets of the last group. So those are supersetted together. Like I said, you can click on them, go to the videos. You can start the workout from here. So when you hit start workout, now this is where you can insert stuff. Okay, you can see it says split squat, goblet position, 5 each leg, right? You would put 5 and then whatever you use for weight. So if you use the dumbbell for 22 pounds, maybe you don't have, your weight room might not have those, but we have them, 22 pounds. And then you would do all forms T's, you do 4 because there's no strength associated with that. Oh, actually there is, sorry. So you may use like a 2.5 dumbbell on this. It is important you guys mark this stuff down. You don't have to, it's not crucial, but it definitely do at least 1 set of the 5 sets. Our athletes who get the best results, they track everything. They write down every single set. They're meticulous about it. They want to know exactly what they did. This program keeps track of total load. So at the end of your workout, if you've increased, it'll show you how many more pounds total through the whole workout you lifted compared to the last time you did this workout. You have a timer. So if you want to work on rests or stopwatch, you guys can, I'm touching the buttons up the top here, that paper pad, you can write us notes. And the coaches will see it. You can comment about the workout, same idea, and we can respond. Or like the other day, one of the kids wrote a message to me about using a barbell instead of dumbbell because he didn't have heavy enough dumbbells. So I just communicated back and forth with him, and we were able to get that taken care of pretty quickly. It is set up to just follow along. Do your split squat, and then you got your next set, single leg deadlift. You can see what we did last week, and then there's a bunch of videos of us doing the exercises. This at the end, you go through, and this is 5 sets. So if you're running short on time, I'm not sure how long this workout would take. It's probably like 40 minutes to knock this out, maybe a little less, 30 minutes. You can cut it down. You can also add a set. You're like, oh, I'm feeling good today. I have plenty of time. I'm going to do 6 sets of everything. Well, you just hit add a set, customize this day only. Oops, that's the wrong button. I hit the wrong thing. Sorry. But this is right there at the bottom there. I hit add new set, and then it drops in another set for us. You can also freestyle and throw in whatever exercise you want. So you get through it, you're like, I still got a little more. I want to throw in some core, some arm work. You can throw that in there, and basically you just customize the day. At the end, you guys are going to look at how difficult was the workout. So this is an important piece to what we're working with. It allows us to determine how hard the workouts are, all the way up to beyond hard. I don't really expect us to get to beyond hard. If that's the case, we're probably overshooting. What we're looking for on a regular is kind of in this range. So moderate to hard. If you're doing this program for 3 weeks and everything is moderate to easy, then we're not pushing ourselves hard enough. And that may be load, that may be speed, that's maybe difficulty of exercise. You need to reach out to us, and we get this. When you guys check in, I get a message on my phone that says Anthony checked in. This is what he rated the workout. He had these PRs. So we get all this information. So we don't grow here, all right? We don't get better at anything in this really easy. If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. So we want to see you guys in this moderate to somewhat hard. Now, if we're in the extremely hard, that's beyond hard. We don't want you guys there. That's too hard. That may impact every other part of our training, and we're here to increase our performance, not an impact. You know, you may have batting lessons, you may have pitching lessons, you may have basketball, or whatever other sport that you may be doing at this time. So we don't want to impact those things. So let's say it was a moderate workout. When you guys first start, I'm okay with it being moderate. Go in, do a couple sets of everything, get the flow, get through those the early soreness. You guys shouldn't be super sore from these workouts, but definitely this first workouts, don't be a hero. So you check in, gives me a high five. I checked in for my first workout. Great. It'll also tell you what you PR'd in. So personal record in terms of exercises in total load. So it gives you a bunch of feedback. So that workout has been saved. And the next piece, so we were in program. Now we can go through calendar. Calendar view, it shows the calendar. So Anthony, we want him tracking his stats. Because we want to make sure that he is, make sure there's nobody in the waiting room. Good. We want to make sure that he is gaining weight. So when you click on the track body stats, we're going to track them. Super simple. You just put your body weight in. If you have body fat percentage, go for it. Throw that in there. But that's super simple. It saves. It gives us an update, and then we get some nice graphs in the back end that we can kind of track and monitor and make sure our goal, if your goal is to gain weight, we're gaining weight. As you can see, it's 5 out of 10 on that dumbbell workout. And then you can delete it. Say you're like, oh, oops, I put it on the wrong day. You just hold it and you slide it. Okay, you can slide it to any day. We'll drop it here. I'm just going to delete this. Another way to access the workout is you can go directly to calendar and then I hit the day, and it pulls up this view. And then you can drop in your workouts. So you can pick whatever workout you want. The way we have this set up is you're going to have to pick multiple workouts in a day. So you would start with the warm-up, go through that. You don't necessarily need to check into the warm-up stuff. We definitely want you checking in to any of the lifts. The last piece of this is that at the bottom, these at-home speed programs, those are built and designed to be like a full day. So say you work out 3 times a week. You do day A, would rip through all the day A's on Monday, and then on Tuesday you would come and knock out our speed work day, and then Wednesday you would do day B of the list with day 2 lift, And then on Thursday, you might add in the day A at-home speed work. The other thing you can do is hit that little blue plus sign, pops up, and then you can rip through your workout. Or pick your workout and go through. And you can also freestyle. We don't really see too many athletes do the freestyle. We have a couple that we train now that'll on Saturday, they like to freestyle and they'll train with us at the club 3 times a week and then show up and do their own thing on Saturdays, and they put it in there because they like to track everything. You can also track it like activity. If you guys like to go for runs, you can put that in there. You can set up the distance time. That's fine. Not many of our athletes do that. Our cross-country runners will put this information in there, and some of our other athletes that are working on some conditioning, and a couple of our older athletes that are in college, they'll put in some of this information for us so we can keep track of it. I think that's all that's in there. And then the body stats. We don't need photos, so don't even worry about that. The next piece of this is the messenger. Hey, you guys are probably all familiar with Messenger, so this is nothing new. But we are going to be sending you guys weekly content through this. All right. So if it's a new phase, we're going to talk about what's going on in this phase. You know, what our expectations are of you of this phase. We'll throw in a quote in there every once in a while, get you guys fired up. And then this week is pre-performance nutrition. Biggest mistake we see across all athletes and all age groups is they just don't eat before practice. They don't eat before training, and they don't realize how much it's going to impact your performance. You got to think of food as fuel pre-performance. So if your last meal was 11 o'clock at lunch when you're at school and you're showing up to a 3 o'clock practice or a 3:30 performance training session and you have not eaten, you are doing it wrong. That's a big problem we see with athletes. You guys, it can be as small as some graham crackers, peanut butter and crackers. Something small can go a long way. So if you feel like you struggle getting the energy to get ready for practice and stuff, start with a snack. This has some tips, and then definitely download this pre-performance nutrition packet. It's got some stuff on hydration. Another big area that we need to work on as athletes is staying hydrated. And then it's got some different things to think about for eating. With this, start small, pick one thing, pick one day, and then try to own it. And you'll notice a massive difference. The athletes, we clean up their pre-participation nutrition stuff, lift more, run faster, and do some really awesome stuff just with some very basic tweaks, like having a yogurt prior an hour before training. So don't go into training sessions hungry. That's not a great way to succeed. For you guys that are looking to gain weight, this is a must. If you are not eating 3 meals a day along with 2 snacks, then it's going to be really hard to gain weight. You guys, some of you guys are growing bone right now. You got to get it done. So this, we'll be sending you guys content. Look through it. It's good stuff. It's all stuff that we've kind of worked on to help athletes that we work with get faster, stronger, bigger, whatever it is, and achieve their goals. You guys can message us directly through this. And it's pretty simple, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Let's see if there's anything else in there. There's this profile section. If you guys need to change your email addresses, you guys can edit things. You guys are tagged as the Hurricane, and then you guys can connect your Apple Watches and stuff here. Pretty simple setup. Let's see if there's anything. Just grab the wrong. So you guys will get some weekly messages from us. Feel free to respond. We're looking for feedback. We're checking in. Our goal is to kind of help you guys fit this in. We know some of you guys are playing sports right now, so now you can see things to do. He's got the at-home program for today, so that changed in there. We're looking to help you guys to perform better and to do some stuff during this off season to get you guys moving in the right direction. So you guys have a program, a well-organized plan, and then a coach to work with. Do you guys have any questions about the program and how to use Trainerize? No, I got none. Has everybody got, obviously Kyle, your exclusion, has everybody gotten an app and gotten access to the app and has downloaded it and then turned it on? You can give me a thumbs up via yep, cool, I like it, Dylan. You can, yeah, thumbs up works there, or you can do the little reactions thumbs up if you don't want to turn your screen on. Give me one of those. There we go. Good, Kyle. Like I said, I'll send it to you. And if you have any issues and you and I need to do a quick Zoom, we can do this. I am going to record this and send this out to everybody as well, so that they have an idea of just some of the basics of ripping through the app. The next thing is with the other groups, we just went over a few of the questions. I have a bunch of questions that came in, and kind of what you guys were looking to do to improve your training. So I figured I'd take the next 10 minutes and kind of chat about some of those questions. We don't have a Peter in this group that we got. Big one we kind of already touched on is on nutrition, right? We are a lot of you guys are looking to gain weight. Some of you guys are pitchers, throwers, hitters, and we talk about more mass equals more gas a lot in kind of the baseball world. And that's true. If you weigh more, you can move things. You can move things with a little bit more force. So if your goal is to gain 10 pounds over these next 8 weeks, that is realistic. We've got a couple athletes right now that have gained, one just checked in with me today, and he gained 12 pounds in the last 6 weeks by doing some very simple things. But you got to focus on doing those simple things religiously every single day, consistently. The two things that he did to gain 12 pounds was he added a protein shake before bed, very simple, and then he added a snack between breakfast and lunch. Very simple, gained 12 pounds. He's running faster, he's stronger, he's got more power output, and he's gained that type of weight. And the other athlete gained, he's at 10-pound weight gain with just the protein shake. He was already doing the other thing. So really simple things can done just savagely well can really add up to some performance gains. But you've got to do a couple other things with that. You've got to stress the body and teach it to grow, right? And that's where the strength training program will help. So proper nutrition plus some good strength training will result in some pretty wild results that are very easy. You just got to show up and do them. Conditioning, we got a couple questions like want to get more endurance. We don't our programming. We don't do a ton of conditioning. We teach you guys to move more efficiently, and a lot of times with strength training, you will become more efficient. So you can see up to a 15% increase in your running economy just by lifting weights. And there's a couple reasons that you got some cool physiological stuff we won't get into, but you are becoming more coordinated. And this goes down to like the next piece of velocity. I saw a lot of stuff is increasing my velocity and batting power. So when we lift weights and move in that environment, our muscles become more coordinated, so we can get more out of our body. It also helps with our flexibility. When you're dropping into a squat or a bodyweight squat, you're working on your mobility of your joints. Being able to move through your joints is super important in your sport, in all sports really. That can make you more efficient. When we're talking about velocity, increasing our speed, we also want to think about power output. So throwing a baseball as hard as you can is a reflection of power and how much you guys can put it and how fast you can move that ball. So parts of what you guys are seeing in the program is sprinting. So you guys mark out a 10-yard dash, and if you can get a time, this is huge, is sprinting 3 to 5 sprints 2 to 3 days a week, timed, and trying to get faster. Another piece of that is jumping higher. So putting a little piece of tape on your highest spot you jump, and you guys try to get there again by jumping as high as you can. In order to push our power up higher and our power output, which impacts our batting power, our speed, and our throwing power, we've got to go all out, and we've got to kind of touch that ceiling and keep pushing up of it. The nice thing is that the more powerful you become as an athlete, all the other sub threshold stuff becomes easier. Running, reacting, and doing some stuff that are power output. Not just in baseball. If you guys play other sports, you'll see some other huge differences. So really important to work on these things on your own so when you look at endurance all the way down to power, you've got a lot of different things you guys can be tackling with strength training, which is really cool. We talked about gaining weight, some basics there. We got some good lift stuff. Gaining velocity when throwing, we just talked about that, and same thing with batting. We got some other stuff about habits and building healthy habits. what we tend to do is you guys try to tackle too much at once. With this program, start small. Start with 2 workouts a week, and then add a 3rd workout in. The big challenge we see with athletes is you guys take on too much, and then it becomes unsustainable. We're about the sustainable change. How can you do stuff and add a little bit more each week when it comes to healthy habits? The big ones we want you guys thinking about is eating well, and then hydrating. We know that most of our athletes are dehydrated, so that could be just as every morning I'm going to wake up and have a glass of water. And that may be a habit we actually install on the app and say, did you do this 5 out of 7 days a week? And then the next thing could be, did you go to bed before 10 o'clock? Because a lot of our athletes, you guys don't go to bed early enough. You guys want to gain and get stronger and faster and gain weight. But if you're not doing the stuff that you need to do to sleep and recover and rebuild, and that's where you guys grow, that's not going to help you. You're gonna be doing the right things, but you're not going to get the most out of it because you're staying up too late. So starting small, working your clock back 15 minutes every night is a good idea. If you want to eat breakfast in the morning, if you're not eating breakfast in the morning, that's a big problem. That's a healthy habit that we need to start working on. And the problem with our athletes who don't eat breakfast is that actually there's some good research that shows how it impacts afternoon performance. So you miss a breakfast, you just have lunch or maybe a snack, then lunch, and then you go to practice. Athletes who do that tend to perform more poorly in their afternoon sports than athletes who show up, get up a few minutes before school starts and jumps on their Zoom, get a full breakfast in, and then, or hopefully we'll be back live for some of you already are. So that's a really, these little habits are really important and can impact what you guys do on the field. Protein supplements was another question that got asked up. When you guys are selecting a protein supplement, you guys can run it by us. Don't go nuts with this. There's some good brands out there and there's some bad brands. If it's a pre-workout anything, you guys should not need that, right? Pre-workouts are typically full of stimulants that we do not want you guys taking and are high caffeine content. You guys should not need caffeine in order to get up for a training or for practice or for a game. You guys should be going to bed earlier and probably fueling properly first. Brands that we recommend for protein is Muscle Milk is fine. We have a supplement protein as Metabolic Drive we get through Amazon. It's a little more expensive. It's a high quality protein. It's not going to make you gassy like some proteins will. It tastes good, but it's just protein. There's nothing else in it other than a high quality protein. And there's a few others out there in the market. What you got, Peter?
I mean, I drink daily chocolate milk. I don't know. Is that helpful?
I mean, that's not bad. That's a really good. We use it a lot for our recovery. But yeah, so chocolate milk, you just gotta be careful. There's not too much sugar in there, but you guys are probably moving enough where it's not a big deal. So definitely post workout. That's an excellent post training session. That's excellent. If you can tolerate it pre, go for it. You do not need to go and get a protein shake for sure. You can use milk as a solid substitute for that. We've built some pretty strong athletes with just glasses of milk at every meal. So that is a very good, easy tool that you guys can use is milk. Now, a lot of times we recommend the protein if there's an issue with a protein powder, if there's an issue with it spoiling, you can't bring it to school, or the flavor does not get you to do. So you could try a glass of chocolate milk before bed if your goal is to put on some size. But you got to remember, you got to put on, we got to work out as well. You don't want to just be pounding a protein shake before bed every night and then gain some weight that doesn't necessarily support you and make you faster and stronger. Like the goal is power. We want to get you guys faster, stronger, gain weight, but we don't want to make you slower. That's a big piece of that. So with the protein, glass of milk, awesome. Obviously, when we're looking at protein, we're thinking palmfuls at every meal. So if you guys can think about your palm, your thickness and the size as a good start to understand how much protein I need. You guys if you guys are training harder, you may have to go a little bit higher than that, but it's a good place to start when we're talking about protein needs. And then looking at protein substances. I wouldn't get into the branched chain amino acids, and if you walk in the GNC, they may try to sell you some nonsense. Keep it simple. A whey protein isolate is what we typically go with because it's a little higher quality protein. The vegetable proteins are great as well. They've been shown to be pretty effective as well. So If you're not into animal products, that's fine. I know we're seeing more and more vegetarian athletes every year that I've been coaching. So Vega makes some really good vegetable protein that you guys can use. Let's see what else we got here. So protein's a big one. Stay away from the pre-workout stuff. You guys should not need that. If you're gonna do anything, just do a cup of coffee, because things can get a little wild there. And you don't really want to be needing caffeine to get up for practices and games. If you're relying on it and then one day you don't have it, and that is the cause of your performance to suffer, that's not great. You know, you don't want to rely on that. So getting a good night's sleep, getting the food, throwing in a nap there. If you do get a poor night's sleep, it can be important. And with the sleep thing, if you guys are playing sports, you're more likely to get injured if you get less than 7 hours of sleep. So if you're an athlete who's been struggling with injury during their career, start looking at your sleep behaviors. And this goes into kind of like the last piece we'll talk about is you guys are probably with coaches, working with me or whatever, 7-10 hours a week. There's a lot more hours in the week, right? That you guys, what is there? 68 hours, 168 hours, right? And let's say 10 of them are devoted to sports. So there are 158 hours in your work week. So you guys got to think about, how much time you're spending training versus, what are some things you can clean up in the other 158 hours to make your training better, more effective, more efficient. And it doesn't take a lot. That's the cool thing about this. It doesn't take a lot to get a little edge on the competition, because not a lot of people are willing to shut it down 15 minutes early, or wake up and have a glass of water every morning, or have that snack in between meals, or have that protein shake before bed consistently. And those are those little tiny, we call them the 1% increments that can make, done consistently, can increase your performance significantly. And the same thing I'm sure your coaches will tell you with batting and stuff. Like you're not going to change your batting percentage huge, but if you could slowly increase it by doing the little things they coach you to do, that's the goal. And you're just slowly improving. And sometimes you can make a big jump, but really, if you focus on those steady incremental improvements, you can see some really cool things happen. Use us as resources as coaches. Don't hesitate to reach out to our coaches that are with you. It doesn't matter how stupid or small the question is. Even if you know the answer, but you're just a little unsure, send it to us. Let us help you guys. We want to make this as easy and frictionless as possible to get you guys in here training on your own. And so this is a more challenging model. The nice thing is we do have an accountability piece. Our app sends us a report every morning that tells us who didn't check in for a workout yesterday. So we'll know, and it also tells us if you guys haven't checked in 5 days. So we know and it tells us who hasn't checked in 5 days, and it says you need to reach out to these people. So our back-end programming tells us all that. So we know what you guys are doing, or more importantly, not doing. Now I'm not asking you guys to go fake check-ins, because that doesn't help anybody. Just don't do it, I guess. I'd rather you guys just own it than try to fake it. But you do need to show up and do the work in order to get that. And we're here to help you guys as much as we can. So when it comes to different exercises or things, specifically if you get injured playing a sport and you can't use a hand, what are my alternatives? I sprained my ankle. What are my alternatives? We can still move while injured, or we can find ways to get you guys moving with the things that you have in your home if you have 0 weights. So do you guys have any questions for me about the app, about things you guys are trying to achieve for training? I did not think so. That's why I had the questionnaire, so that I could answer some questions that I think you guys might be running. So like the chocolate milk idea, post-exercise is an excellent one. And then you guys let your coaches know if you need anything. Let me know if you need anything. We are training live. So I know a few of you guys have already reached out to us to see if they can get in and train with us at the club. We do train at the club. We do have some space. So if that's something you're interested in, just reach out to us and we'll work it out and figure out where we can put you guys in there. So we can get you guys moving in training. So great. If you guys don't have any questions, go grab a glass of water, finish up your homework, and get to bed. And let us know if you need anything.
Nice, yeah.
All right. Have a good one, Peter. Kyle, I'll send you out your link in a couple minutes.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Nice meeting you guys.